Today we're making Atomic Buffalo Turds. I really hate that name. Jalapenos sliced in half, cream cheese mixture, all kinds of good spices inside of it, wrap it in bacon, onto the smoker. This is one of the greatest and easiest appetizers you can make for your next barbecue. My name is Rich, this is Rex Barbecue and Grill. Let's get cooking.
Okay, ABTs, black ABTs. I am going to be using black jalapenos. The only reason is because they're smaller, so for me they're a little bit more the size of an appetizer, more bite size. As far as Scoville units are concerned, they're not any hotter or sweeter, spicier, however you want to refer to it, as a normal jalapeno. They're just smaller, so I like using these ones better. So we'll start with getting these sliced open, and we'll just go right down the middle, like so. And try and stay in the center as much as you can. Just use the stems as your guide. Keep it down in the center. And now we just want to scrape out all the seeds in the ribs. The easiest way I found to do is just use a spoon. You can use a knife if you want, you can use your fingers, but scrape this thing out. Just like that. And work your way through all of them. There's a seed or two inside, it's not a big deal. A little extra heat. And once you get all the ribs and seeds out, you can rinse them under the sink if you want. It'll help get the rest of the seeds out if you need to. Like I said, it's not a big deal. A little extra spicier that way. If you want to make sure you get them all out, go ahead and pick them all out. Like I said, rinse them under the sink. I've also heard that soaking them in Sprite, if you don't like them spicy, for a couple of hours will take some of the bite away from it too. We like a little bit of spice, so we're gonna go ahead and roll with what we got. Okay, with the jalapenos sliced and gutted, we're gonna start on our mixture. 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese. And for a little extra kick, I like to throw in about a ½ pound or so of chorizo sausage. In goes the chorizo. And then next, we are going to throw in 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Roughly, it doesn't have to be perfect. Going for kind of a sweet and spicy flavor with these. We're going to do 1 tablespoon of molasses. About a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. About a teaspoon of granulated garlic salt. A couple pinches of kosher salt. And hit it with a little bit of black pepper. Just get that all mixed up. Just want to get cream cheese. I left the cream cheese sit out on the counter for about, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours, so it's nice and soft. It'll make it easier for you. If not, you can pop it in the microwave for a few seconds just to soften it up if you forgot. I have the smoker preheated at 250 degrees right now. And while I'm stirring up, if you haven't already liked and subscribed to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. I've got handful of recipes. If you haven't seen them, go back after this one and check them out, and more to come. Alright, so that's looking good. Everything's nice and mixed up. Set that to the side. We don't need this chorizo, I'll save it for the next batch and get our bacon ready. Now since I'm using the black jalapenos, they're shorter, like I mentioned before. We're not going to use a whole strip of bacon. So we're just going to cut the bacon in half. Not going to use all of it. Again, I'll use that for my next batch. Alright, now all you got to do is start stuffing these. Take our first one. And just fill each half. A little bit overstuff it, because this is going to be our flavor. Don't skimp out on it. You'll have plenty of this stuff to go around. And it's going to get messy. That's alright. Messy means it's going to be good. And if you notice, as I was putting the ingredients in with the sour cream, they're pretty much the same ingredients that I use in my candied jalapeno barbecue sauce. I'll put a link up here for that if you haven't seen that video. Minus the ketchup. But that sauce gives you a nice balance of the sweet and spice, so just transferring that flavor profile over to these. Okay, we have the jalapenos stuffed. Last step is just getting them wrapped with bacon. You don't need toothpicks. Just a suggestion with the bacon, I buy the store brand, the thin cut stuff. The thick cut takes too long to cook. By the time it does cook and crisp up, the poppers start getting really mushy on you and stuff. So just get the cheapest thin sliced bacon you can find and use that. So we're simply just going to take each one of these, wrap them around, overlapping. And with the bacon going around 3 times there at least, and being thin cut, no toothpick needed. We'll get the rest of these wrapped up and onto the smoker. And I'm just using this cooling rack so it's easier to get them in and out, obviously. You can throw them right on the grates if you want. One last step before we get these on the smoker is I just like to sprinkle the top of it with just a little bit of brown sugar, add a little bit more of that sweetness to everything. And yes, I did wash my hands before I put them in the brown sugar. Alright, that looks good. Time to get them into the smoker. Like I said before, the smoker's been preheated at 250 degrees. We'll check on them in an hour, hour and a half. They generally take about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Normally, when the bacon crisps up to your liking, they're done. But since we've got the chorizo in there and it's uncooked, we'll also check them with temperature just to be safe. But we'll be right back. Alright, the ABTs ran for an hour and 45 minutes. I checked the internal temperature, make sure we're above the 160 degrees. We are well above that, so they're safe with the pork inside of them. Let them rest for about 5 minutes because that cream cheese gets screaming hot. You don't want to burn the roof of your mouth on these things. So let's cut into one of them, man. I'll show you what they look like on the inside and then we'll give them a shot. I mean, look at that. Our cream cheese mixture, our jalapenos, the bacon. These things are awesome, man. Similar, like I said, to the barbecue sauce, just the right amount of sweet and heat. Stuff them with whatever you want. Follow the recipe. I'll leave a link for this exact recipe in the description below. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.